Yeah.
Uh.
No. 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 Yeah.
What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up?
Welcome back, Weenie.
How y'all feeling, man? Happy Sunday. No, it ain't Friday. But yeah, so yeah, I decided to just do this last minute because I see, like, I didn't even know this was gonna be such a big deal. I should have guessed it because it's Asmon goal, but the reason I didn't think this was gonna be a big deal is because Birdman didn't even like come at Asmon like super hard, especially like if you look at it in contrast with like how he did Keno Flex or any other grifter that he usually covers, like Critical Drinker and them. He really just made it about the subject matter, um, more so than Asmon himself. But this shit has blown up. Like everybody, like I can't tell y'all how many thumbnails I've seen on my timeline today with Birdman covering Asmon, Birdman. And then I see he got a 50-minute video up. I wonder if it's actually 50 minutes about this whole situation. But he got a 50-minute video up about the Birdman video. And I'm super curious. So I was like, you know what? Let's see. Let's cover this on stream because it's 50 minutes. And I know I wanted to respond, and I probably don't want to do a 50-minute video just covering it like, off stream. But yeah, I'm like, damn, this yeah, this shit is a big deal. And I guess Birdman was saying that they was coming to his video and ratioing the hell out of his video and stuff. And then he started blocking comments, which I think is a bad idea. I don't think he should do that. I think that's kind of soft to ban people's comments and stuff, even if they doing it in bad faith. It just draws more it works in the algorithm, whether people love or hate your video. If they're engaging with it, it help. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, he wasn't even critical of Asmon necessarily. He was just more so attacking this whole IQ myth that these people keep pushing. And a lot of people keep saying, like, Asmon's not racist. He's not racist. He's not racist. And I'm like, I personally don't even care about it, whether or not the man is racist. But that narrative is racist. Like, whether he is or not, he's carrying water for people that are racist, period. So, but yeah, man, let's get to it and see what Asmon has to say. I seen like a couple clips, and what I saw, I wasn't impressed.
Exposing the grift, debunking Asmongold on IQ in less than 10 minutes. Well, thank God. I didn't want to watch it for that long, so it should be easy. Here we go.
In one of the most ironic social media posts of all time, Asmongold makes the claim, in response to Mehdi
Yes.
Hassan, that the average IQ in Somalia is 68, and that
I
this
was rounding up, actually. It's like somewhere around 67.67. But yeah.
claim isn't racist, but a fact. What makes this post
Yes.
ironic is the very last bit where Zach claims Hassan's tweet is an attempt to push a narrative.
It absolutely is trying to push a narrative. It's trying to push the false narrative that every culture and every group of people has an identical IQ. This is not.
No, nobody's saying every culture and everybody around the world has identical IQs. But the problem is these people keep acting like because you're from X place, your IQ will be X, and that's just not how it works. Or you're saying that yes, you take that group of people and you put them in a different environment. You can't attach an IQ to them. You don't care about why. You're just saying it, and y'all only say this about colored people. They only say that about a certain group of minorities. They don't say that shit about any and everybody.
True. Everybody knows this isn't true. You take 3 seconds and you look at the world and you know it isn't true.
I cannot believe he just said that. That he gonna say common sense. I think in 50 minutes it's very likely he says common sense.
Well, not only is this Asmongold's attempt to push a narrative, but
Yes.
the claim itself that African people have low IQs is also an attempt to push a narrative.
Yeah.
That number typically
Well, he said yeah, so he said you got 100. Yeah. The fact that he said yeah when he just said Asmon is also attempting to push a narrative and Asmon said yeah. Like, are you listening or you just like responding to respond?
traces back to the work
There's also a lot of other components to why people have low IQ, and it's
Okay.
not necessarily race. I'm sure
Okay.
that race is a component, but
No, it's not. It's not at all. Don't say that. It's not a component. Race has nothing to do with IQ.
I would say it's probably like a 4th or 5th level component. So
And where are you basing this off of?
the big reason is you've got the big 3, right? 2 of them are like kind of harder to say, and the last one is like a little bit hard. It's a little bit more obvious. Inbreeding is number 1. Do you think
Well, why aren't you saying what it is and not what it? I mean, why don't you say what? This is. It seems like he's going backwards. He's finna say what are the things that's gonna make your IQ really low, and even starting with inbreeding is kind of weird. Why are you? We not talking about inbreeding because that's not us. We already know that's gonna fuck you up by inbreed. Like, bro, name what influences IQ. Do you know?
that inbreeding
In a
is going to lower people's IQ or not? Do you think that a society full of people that are inbreeding are going to have low
we know what
IQs? Is it going to fuck up people's brains? Absolutely it is. You also have the amount of nutrition. You have food. So if you take people that are inbred, that have no food, you are going to have people that have extremely low IQs. This is just obvious. And the problem
obvious. That is very adjacent to common sense.
is that some people want to pretend like this isn't the case,
Who's talking about inbreeding though? Okay.
but it's very evident that it is because your brain isn't getting the nutrients that it needs. Now, I think that, again, if you really even assign all of that and you remove all of that, very clearly there probably are some degree of racial differences.
No,
but the main
no.
factors are inbreeding and nutrition.
Where are you getting that from? Where have you ever gotten this information? I'm sure this just came out of his ass. Like, what the hell are we talking about, bro? This man said inbreeding, and then he's just talking. He didn't talk about education. He didn't talk about resources. He didn't talk about mental health. Nutrition is one of them. But come on now. And it's genetics as far as what it's genetic as far as what your lineage has, yes, and you can, move up and down that, but it's not genetics based off of race.
That's a massive fucking factor. And also, if you look at the way that people from Somalia have integrated into British culture, how they've integrated into American culture, how they've come from, let's say, Japan, you will see one common variable every single time. It's that these people are total drains on the society.
Wow.
They are massively problematic. They're scamming. They steal things. They do not integrate. And at the end of the day, they are a negative for the societies that they come to.
And are you saying that because they're Somalian? Or are we not taking into account the circumstance that the environment that these people came from? Like, why? This is crazy.
So why would you bring in all of these people that have such a high...
Right, Dex. It's like you eat like shit. And I think you're a product of, you're an example of what you claim to know about. Like, you're pretending to know about. You eat bullshit, so therefore, that's why your IQ is low.
High rate of there being a negative outcome. Why would you ever do that? It's stupid. It has...
Right, Watts. It's like you're pointing out Somalis and saying that they're low IQ, and it's alluding to because they're Somali. You're not considering the effect of their environment, which is one of the biggest factors.
Like, if you just take a step back, are you keeping your country safe? Are you keeping your people safe when you...
He doesn't even know what goes on in these countries.
Allow immigration from a country that has a massive inbreeding? Do you want to know what the percentage of women who are victims of female genital mutilation are in Somalia? 99%. Breeding. Do you want to know what the percentage of women who are victims of female genital mutilation are in Somalia? 99%. I'm not kidding. If you look up the World Health Organization, and they have a study on this,
Female genital mutilation is profoundly entrenched in Somali culture, with the country holding the highest prevalence rate in the world at approximately 98 to 99% among women and girls aged 15 to 49. The practice, which is considered a severe human rights violation, is nearly universal across all regions, social groups, and levels of education in Somalia. That's actually fucked up. You see, I ain't want to jump the gun because I'm like, he said that with a lot of confidence. That's fucked up, though. But yeah, again, that has nothing to do with their race inherently, and that's the problem that we're having right now. The problem is that, again, just like when they do the 1350 shit, they just say these things and want to make the group look bad versus like, let's get to the root of what the problem is.
89% of women in Somalia are victims of female genital mutilation. I don't want to import that culture into my country. I don't want to take the risk that I'm importing that culture into my country. I don't want them here.
But the problem is, most of the people that come here don't engage in like fraud and stuff. That is something that happens in that community at a higher rate, but most of them don't engage in that. These people act like, the problem with this is when people immigrate, it's because they want better. They don't immigrate to do worse. That's why overwhelmingly immigrants assimilate well in most cases. They come in, they want a better life, they try to do the right thing, they try to raise their family, they try not to get in trouble, they try to stay under the radar. And yes, there are people from any walk of life that can engage in nefarious behavior, whether it be violence or white-collar crimes or whatnot. That can happen through any group. But overwhelmingly, when people do immigrate here, they don't come here doing stuff like that. It doesn't even make sense. If they want to engage in female genital mutilation and killing people and whatnot, why the fuck would they come to a country where it's going to be way less tolerated and engage in that here? They would just stay where they're at if they want to mutilate and kill and rob people all the time because that's their culture, right? So why come here and do that? That don't make sense.
At all.
work of Richard
It's
Lynn.
disgusting.
This guy,
Let's see if you think this guy's disgusting.
a literal self-described scientific racist.
What does that have to do with whether it's right or not? You're calling
It means you probably are going into a conversation about race with a bias.
somebody a word. What does that have?
If I'm having a conversation with somebody about if I want to talk about why veganism is bad as a meat eater, obviously there's probably going to be something you should probably look deeper into versus just being right. I'm not saying you write them off inherently, but you already saying it without knowing the reasons why this guy is actually, him being a, what did it say, scientific racist actually plays into his work.
Have to do with this?
So you should just wait before you say that.
This man was part of a secret eugenics
Right, a racist doing a study about race and he sees no problem. Like, you can make that claim after the fact if you know that maybe it was on the up and up of their research. You know, like I said, it's not immediately a write-off, but you don't have the information yet. What does that have to do with it?
conference where, and I'm not joking, there were people favorably arguing in favor of pedophilia. So
That's obviously bad, but you know what's even worse is probably the fact that pedophilia is normalized over in Somalia. If you're going to act like that's bad, why don't you look at what they're doing? Look at whenever...
I wonder what he thinks the difference. First of all, wouldn't it be more disgraceful if you're in, is this guy from England? In England, an Englishman in a more civilized society amongst a group of people advocating for pedophilia versus a third world country where, you know, all hell is, you know, one of the worst living circumstances ever. Again, it's not to say it's okay, but obviously your standard of expectation is different. If this place isn't developed and they're engaging in stuff that we know better than versus somebody in England advocating for something that we all know shouldn't happen. Wouldn't your expectation be a little different in those two things?
they're getting married.
yeah, this is the guy Asmongold is quoting. Lynn
Yes.
published a paper in 1982 called IQ in Africa in the
Yes.
pseudoscientific journal The Mankind Quarterly, a white supremacist outlet that is currently
See, he's trying to poison the well by saying that things are pseudoscientific, saying
Wait, how is he saying it? Wikipedia said it. Why is he saying? He didn't add that word. It's literally right there. It's right there.
they're white supremacist, etc. You're not actually attacking the argument. You're
He didn't get to it yet. Why don't he's speaking way too soon. You see, when he said the female genital mutilation thing, I didn't jump the gun and say, that's not true. I'm like, let me see. Like, what the fuck?
not actually attacking anything that's being said.
He didn't get to the argument yet.
You're assigning
I bet you he's not gonna go back and take back these comments of he's not attacking the argument when Birdman has not gotten to the arguments yet. I bet you either gonna just shut up or keep making excuses.
negative variables and negative attributes to it, and then hoping that people, because of those negative variables and attributes that you're assigning to it, will assume that it's wrong because they're not supposed to agree with things that have these attributes. That's what he's doing. It's dishonest.
Again, he didn't make up the pseudoscientific and white supremacist claims. It's right there on Wikipedia because people that actually do the science behind these subjects have deemed it as such. Not Birdman. That's not his claim.
maintained by the hilariously named Human Diversity Foundation, a
Because there's diversity between humans. That's correct.
far-right
I don't think he's comprehending what's happening right now. I don't think he's comprehending what's happening. He's just like Dante said, he's just responding. He's not listening.
nationalist company.
Again, none of this has anything to do with whether this is a good or an accurate thing at all.
And now this is so funny because he's going to explain why the science is bad. I just wonder what he's going to say at that point.
This is more, again, and again, I want to take a step back. It's environmental, it's educational. There's
All of that comes first. That's the problem. We could say all of this stuff. We can say all of these things about different groups of people. Y'all only do it to minority groups all the fucking time. That's the problem. And you do it and it's like a dog whistle, obviously, to say that these people are stupid because they look like this. That's the point. And y'all don't care. Now you're backed in the corner like it's because of education, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then, so stop talking about what Somalis do, because it's not because they're Somalis. It's because of where they come from.
also the factor of inbreeding, which is massive. All of these things have nothing to do with race, and they're still all factors for IQ. So what's happening is that you just have a person who's throwing a bunch of buzzwords at it to hopefully get people to disagree with what's being said.
Yeah, he definitely took down inbreeding. He named everything else that's more important. Now inbreeding is less important now.
You're trying to shut down conversation, and you have to keep in mind, let's go back and talk about that eugenics conference that was banned. The reason why these things are banned is because research into this topic isn't allowed. You have to keep in mind that the father that invented DNA, or not invented, excuse me, discovered DNA, was effectively had his entire career destroyed because he said that there's a chance that there could be a racial basis for where IQ is coming from. And
because if it's not provable, yes, the scientific community will excommunicado you. You don't deserve to be respected if you're going to purport false science, pseudoscience. Obviously, no, yes, your career is going to be ended when you, especially if it's harmful, especially if you're purporting harmful pseudoscience. Yes, you will. Yes. Why do these people keep acting like when they, basically when somebody's reputation is ruined by the lack of the work that they do, that it's like, man, why you think they don't respect him? Why you think they don't, like the dude that was doing the vaccine, I think, was it the vaccine guy? I forgot his name. The English guy, Michael Knowles, interviewed him. He was trying to say vaccines was harming kids, and he got discredited and lost his license as a doctor and stuff like that. And then they'd be like, well, see, they did that to him because he was on to something. Get the fuck out of here. When somebody's on to something, people want to put Peterson. Yeah, I believe it's Peterson. You know who I'm talking about. I forgot his first name. So they think that when somebody gets discredited in their field, that means they were on to something. People that's on to something, don't they get money thrown at them? When is people that's on to something ever not been having money thrown at them if they're on to something? This is just ridiculous.
And so the reason why there isn't a lot of research or information in this...
No, it's not that there isn't a lot. It's that the shit is pseudoscience. That's why.
...is because there is a wrong answer. And it's basically politicized science that has been effectively co-opted by activists that will not let people have a conversation about this.
He's just talking.
Topic at all. That's the reason what's going on.
You know what? I don't want to put a blanket on every Asmon fan, but if I was a different type of person, I'm seeing why people watch this nigga and just be like, yeah. Because, like, when you just don't know shit and somebody like this is just sitting there, it seems like a normal guy in his fucked up room and is confidently just saying things, you'll feel heard. And they're like, man, that's why I don't know shit, but that sound right. That sounds right. This is a normal man that gets where I'm coming from, where I just don't understand shit, but he explained it in simple ways that I don't have to do anything beyond just agree because it feels good. Like, it's just, yes, Dex, like, just like Andrew Wilson, like, if you're confident in whatever, Dr. Umar, all these good orators, he's not a good orator, but, he's talking to a lower tier of individuals. But, so it's just kind of like, if you're just confident as hell, no matter what the fuck you say, and people are gonna believe you. Just like flat earthers. You just need the confidence to say the shit that you say, and there's gonna be people that just follow you, and that shit is crazy. This shit is crazy, no matter how stupid it is or unfounded. He said every Asmon fan is stupid.
In this journal,
obvious.
Flynn argued that the IQ of sub-Saharan
The
Africa
guy's a critical drinker, generational hater.
Oh
What's
God.
this?
Stick to the topic, man, please.
Pull this up.
He finna go to the critical drinker shit. Come on.
See this?
Come on.
Drinker is a grifter. He's trying to tell the audience what he thinks they want to hear. Hilariously, it works on you.
Keep in mind, people were saying under Birdman's under Asmon. I looked at some of his comments. They were saying he's not racist. And where else did I see it? I saw in a couple places. A couple people said it under my video, and in his comments too. There's like he's not racist. But shout out to the 75 in here. Hit the like, man. Appreciate it. So everybody's saying he's not racist, but the funny part is hella people in Asmon comments, and as I'm looking at the chat go too, that's being racist. I wonder why that is. Why do you foster a community of people that make racist jokes? Like, it's people making racist jokes all in his comment section. It's people making racist jokes in his chat right now. I'm not even saying Asmon racist, but it's a reason that racist is comfortable being racist in your comments.
Proving that the audience of grifters are very, very low IQ. Others can argue differently. There is no winner here. Besides, you're a low IQ alt-right incel that has a personal vendetta against anything you perceive to be left-wing. You are not a reliable source. The guy is a low IQ moron that is seeking attention. I mean, his videos are hate videos, not criticism videos.
Of course.
Yeah, that explains exactly why you're a loser who spends his free time making fun of marginalized groups on the internet while being a dipshit low IQ manlet that is invisible to every woman walking past you down the street.
Again, it's all about the approval of women. It has nothing to do with whether somebody's right or not. It's about...
Dude, you watching a clipped up video that's trying to tell a certain narrative. You're not watching the video for what it is, and he's talking about he don't even know what the context of this video is. He just found out that Birdman talks about critical drinker. He got sent a 1-minute mashup of Birdman. I seen this clip on somebody else's channel. He watching a mashed up thing of all the times Birdman calls somebody low IQ, and he's judging it.
Are you getting the consensus approval?
What you got fired for,
Yep.
you low IQ piece of shit. One thing I always
Notice
enjoy-
That weird Carl dude had this in his video. I watched that Carl dude's video. He had a video on this.
How his arguments are low IQ? Yeah, because IQ matters. It obviously matters, and anybody that thinks that it doesn't matter is probably low IQ.
This was never about how much it matters. That's not the purpose of the conversation. It's not about how much it matters. That's not what we're talking about.
from grifters is how they are.
It's about the narrative you're trying to paint while saying somebody else is pushing a narrative that people of a certain race are gonna inherently be low IQ. And if that's not what you're saying, you're doing a poor job of articulating what your point is.
So opportunistic that they will contradict themselves.
Or y'all don't really care about the real situation. You just want to say it about, because like I said, they keep saying it about just a certain group of people.
If it means they can serve up a shallow dunk to their low IQ viewership. That
Right.
he knows the point that's being made, but is misrepresenting it to fit the narrative he's trying to push.
Right.
I mean, the alternative is to suggest he's low IQ. And I would never do that. God, I can't take any more of this low IQ drivel. Drinker is
Well, anyway, so this is the person who's making a video of me talking about IQs.
This is so, God, Asmon, this is what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't even know what he's trying to argue. He's cutting Birdman off before he gets to his arguments to just keep saying that he's not proving nothing, didn't get to the point. And it's not about, he didn't say you can't insult somebody by saying they are low IQ. He's saying that you're calling Somalis low IQ for the sake of them being Somalis. What the fuck?
Huh. It sure seems like he cares a lot about IQ, actually.
This isn't about caring about IQ.
Right. And also keep in mind, none of these were arguments. None of this was an argument.
Wait, you just went to a totally different video. What are you talking about? What's happening? He just went to something unrelated and just said these aren't arguments. This video is 10 minutes. I don't even know if Asmon got a minute into the video yet. 2 minutes max. Exactly, frankly. It's a tu quoque. Like, he's trying to say, oh, how are you attacking a low IQ insult and you attack low IQ insults. It's not about attacking. It's not about using IQ as an insult. It's about blanket. It's a racist stereotype that y'all keep trying to put on black people and Somalis now, because that's the target of 2026 is Somalis, that they're low IQ, therefore they shouldn't be in this country. That's what y'all are getting at with this narrative.
At all.
Was around
He's
70.
so confident that he's not making arguments. I just wonder, I'm so curious what he's going to say when Birdman starts to make the arguments.
Notice I said
Wait,
IQ
what?
of sub-Saharan Africa was around. In this journal, Flynn argued that the IQ of sub-Saharan Africa was around 70.
Okay.
Notice I said sub-Saharan Africa. Yes, Lynn's argument was that a continent that consists of about 50 countries all had a similar very low IQ.
Okay. All of the European countries have similar IQs. All of the Asian countries have similar IQs. This tracks.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Don't Africa have the most countries?
obvious problem with this argument is that Africa
I'm 98%
is huge, and there are over 1 billion people with over 1,000 different ethnic groups. Nigeria alone has more than
Africa has the most countries, so you can't just. I don't even know if it's comparable. The other continents, how many countries they have?
200 ethnic groups, and that's a single country. Do you think Lynn tested every ethnic group in Nigeria, let alone?
Do you think that one of them is going to have a higher IQ than people in China?
What is that? See what I'm saying? He doesn't even realize that he's being racist right here, because this ain't about whose IQ is higher. It's about you trying to blanket call a group of people from a certain country low IQ for the sake of them being for that country and that only. You don't care about why. You're just saying it to make these people look bad. Okay, so 54, then Asia is 48, so it is close. That's my North American bias, forgetting that we just don't have a lot.
Doing? What are we doing? Like, really, it's just so retarded that it's just like you think about this for 3 seconds and you immediately realize that it's retarded.
How?
Oh my God!
Are you gonna say why?
The rest of
the
continent.
Are you gonna say why? Again, it ain't about if the. Do you think? Because again, he's trying to. These people running, carrying water for him to saying he's not racist. Yet you're sitting here like, yeah, every country, everybody in Africa is gonna have a lower IQ than people in Asia. What's your point? What are you saying? What are you trying to get at? What is the purpose of what you're saying? People don't just say shit for shits and gigs. What are you saying and why? Why? Are you trying to address why these countries have the problems that they have?
Me neither. Anyway,
let's be honest for just a second.
Is, other psychologists went back and actually checked Lynn's work.
Let's look at
Wichards, Dolan, and van der Maas published a systematic review in the journal Intelligence, looking at IQ data from sub-Saharan African samples. What they found was that because African countries are developing countries, they hadn't experienced the variables that caused the Flynn effect, such as improvements to nutrition, healthcare, and even toys. In other words, the environment is the most relevant variable in determining one's IQ score.
So why would you want to bring people from the country that have a bad environment into your country?
First of all, I explained that earlier. I mean, of course, I'm talking to y'all, not him. But I'm obviously, because when people do want to leave, it's because they want better, and they'll more than likely try to do better. Second, Birdman isn't saying like, yes, I want to bring people over here. That's not the fucking point. He's like doing these straw mans.
Why would you want to do that?
That's not the fucking point.
So like, I don't understand. Cause like, so if your brain isn't developed properly because like,
again, he's jumping the gun with the arguments.
For whatever reason, you know, environmentally or whatever else, who creates it? Well, they do. They're killing each other and cutting each other up. They've been doing this for thousands of years. I mean, obviously that's the reason why. And you can't understand their IQ is so good they have to keep living in mud huts rather than building houses. Exactly.
See these like you know, and yeah, exactly. Like these fucking racist people, he don't even care or know.
So exactly what you said. Yeah, of course. So the thing is that it's not relevant to me.
Fam, how does random stream on Sunday night get 93 viewers? Shout out to y'all. Just hit the like, man. Hit the like, man.
Whether the IQ is
stream.
arrived at through racial, genetic, or environmental reasons. The only thing that matters is whether the IQ is or isn't. If you bring a bunch of people who are functionally retarded into your country, you're going to have a lot of problems. So why would you ever invite that type of chaos into your country? It doesn't matter where they're coming from. It doesn't matter why it's happening.
Not only that, why is he pretending like there's this rampant issue of Somalis like killing and raping and frauding and all this crap? That's not even happening here. So where is this even coming from? Like, nobody's arguing, hey, let's bring every Somali into America. That's not even a conversation right now. But the ones that are here, majority are acclimating just fine. Why? What is this argument? What are you even talking about?
Why would you ever do that? It's stupid. There's a
Happy Black History Year, Happy Black History Lifetime, Happy Black History Century.
reason, like, aren't like 80% of these people on welfare in America? It's insane. And then also keep in mind that it's not just systematic, right? Or it's not just environmental, because even like, for example, Somali American families inside of America that have been here for 10 years. They have been in America for 10 years. They still have a much dramatically higher rate of being on welfare than, normal, like I would say, like just average, everyday Americans from the general population.
Asmon, if they're so low IQ, why is it that obvious? No, but that's not saying anything. Like, this is what I'm saying. What are you trying to get at? Are you saying that no Somali should ever immigrate to America? That's the problem. He's saying all of these things, and I think it's because he's stupid. And like, some people was arguing, is he racist? I think he's just too dumb to be racist. But it's just, you're not saying anything of substance. You can run this argument with people that are in poverty. If you're in poverty, you have a higher rate of committing crimes. You're in poverty, you're a higher rate you might have a lower lifespan. You're in poverty, you're more likely to be less educated. You're in poverty, you're more likely to be unhealthy. So it's just, I can say all these, and yes, they're true, but there needs to be a reason behind why you're saying these things. And again, you're blanketing it, because if I'm talking about poverty, I'm just going to say what the effects of it is and what I think we should and can do to change it. I'm not just disparaging people that's poor, because for one, every poor person ain't going to fall into all these things anyway. And again, the Somalis that immigrate here, most of them aren't criminals. So what is your purpose? This is a small portion of those people.
That's it.
Not genetics. But let's rewind for a second,
It has
because
nothing to do whether it's genetics or not.
mentioned something that you all may not be familiar with.
What is it?
The Flynn effect.
Right.
The Flynn effect is the observed rise in IQ scores over time. Basically, if you gave an average...
I think this is true. So in general, you are going to have a ceiling and a floor of IQ. Like, for example, if somebody's really, really naturally smart, if they are not well educated and they're not, basically, they don't have good, what do you call it? They don't have good, environment, or, they don't have good nutrition, excuse me.
What about good non-inbreeding? What happened to inbreeding, sir? You dropped that. You dropped inbreeding. Now you're talking about what actually matters.
And for whatever reason, they don't have these options. Well, what ends up happening is that, yeah, they're not going to be as smart as they could be, but their floor is higher than somebody else's. So it's the same as anything else. There's a variation of it, but that variation doesn't go from 100 to 0. There is a natural limitation that each person has. And if you really think that you can train two random people and one of them can just randomly be Einstein just because you educate them in a...
Nobody's saying that. Nobody is fucking saying that.
the right way, you're just delusional. You're obviously delusional. Every single other element of humanity is measured in this way. So, for example, there are people who are shorter because they have lower, amounts of food that they're eating. But it's not like people that have an adequate amount of food are always 7 feet tall either. There is a genetic variation, but inside of that,
and nobody's even arguing that that's not true. We're not even saying that that's not true.
Genetic variation, there is a ceiling and a floor for each individual person.
And he doesn't, like I said, all of this is so good after watching Kyla's interview with Woman Propaganda, because that can be changed in one generation. It can be. It's possible that it can change in one generation.
Person from 1901, a modern IQ test, they would score.
No, he's never been challenged because he refuses to talk to anybody because he says he knows everything. So he's not going to talk to nobody. Granted, Birdman don't want to debate either, and that's my biggest critique of him, and I don't like that one bit. I do not like the fact that Birdman is so, aggressive with his content but refuses to talk to people in real time. I fucking hate it. And Asmon's the same way, except Asmon says, I know everything. That's why I'm not going to talk to nobody. Birdman says he feels like debate is not productive and people just want to win and it ain't about being right and how the audience looks at you. I don't like all that shit is excuses to me. I wish he talked to people.
Dramatically lower than the people of today. Not because they were genetically predisposed to being less intelligent, but because IQ tests measure certain types of abstract.
There are people that are just stupid. This is.
But that's not what he said, right? That's not what he said.
Not because they were genetically predisposed to being less dramatically lower. 1901, a modern IQ test, they would score dramatically lower than the people of today. Not because they were genetically predisposed to being less intelligent, but because IQ tests measure certain types of abstract.
There are people that are just stupid.
But see, that's not addressing what he said. He didn't say people aren't stupid. He said you're not genetically dumber because you wouldn't pass an IQ test today if you were born in 60 years ago. That's not the argument. It's relative to what's happening in the now. He didn't argue with what was said.
And there's a problem is that a lot of people inside of Western society.
Right. Asmon probably would do better in a debate than Pearl, honestly, if she got up there and embarrassed the hell out of herself.
Are terrified of the idea that people are not equal. But they're not. And we all know this. Everybody knows
that's
this.
Not the
if
argument.
you've gone to a public school, you would know.
He was comparing people from different time frames. He didn't say that there aren't some people that's probably just less likely to have a higher IQ.
This. There are a lot of people that are just born with less talent points than others.
And but are you going to say that you're one of them? Do you not know that? Is he unaware of that?
They're stupid. They're dumb. And there's nothing that you're going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to teach them something. Maybe you can make it a little bit better, but you're never going to teach a lot of these people to be rocket scientists. It's just never going to happen.
Nobody's making that argument, though.
It's a delusion, but people don't want to talk about that because they're worried that it could be considered or seen as eugenics.
Reasoning, pattern recognition, and problem solving that modern societies train us in constantly.
We're going to take a quick voyage over the cognitive history of the 20th century.
Yes.
Because during that century,
people want to believe that anything's possible with the right luck and the right opportunity. Yeah,
nobody said that.
Not. There are some people that are just losers. And some people that aren't.
Our minds have altered dramatically. As you all know, the cars that people drove in 1900 have altered because the roads are better and because of technology.
Well, it's because people with high IQs designed them.
And our minds have altered too. We've gone from people who confronted a concrete world and analyzed that world primarily in terms of how much it would benefit them, to people who confront a very complex world. And it's a world where we've had to develop new mental habits, new habits of mind. Now, this dramatic change was drawn to my attention through massive IQ gains over time. And these have been truly massive. That is, we don't just get a few more questions right on IQ tests. We get far more questions right on IQ tests than each succeeding generation back to the time that they were invented.
People are getting smarter? Okay. This is an argument against what I said? What does this have to do with what I said?
Indeed, if you score the people a century ago against modern norms, they would have an average IQ of 70. If you score us against their norms, we would have an average IQ of 130. Now, this has raised all sorts of questions.
He's not understanding the point is that if you take people from back then and put them today, they're probably just on par with how everybody else is spread across the spectrum on IQ. That's the point. It's not about it's not really like smarter over time. It's just the bar gets raised over time and everybody kind of goes with it. Everybody within that time will go with it. So somebody that was born 70 years ago, if that exact person, I know this is a far-fetched, hypothetical, but that exact person being born today will probably be on par with everybody else, more than likely, if given the same opportunity and environment. That's what it means. It's not because the way you articulate this point is what you are is what you gonna be, period. And you can't do much. You can't do much to change it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks that a Somali could never be, if the average is 80, they could never be at 115 to him. That's what I think he believes.
Were our immediate ancestors on the verge of mental retardation? Because 70 is normally the score for mental retardation. Or are we on the verge of all being gifted? Because 130 is the cutting line for giftedness.
James
What does that have to
Flynn,
do with
the
it?
political scientist who
Yes.
documented this pattern, showed that IQ scores increased roughly 3 points per decade in many countries throughout the 20th century.
I think there's a lot of reasons why that happens, and one of the reasons is a eugenic reason. Whenever you have dumb people that are really stupid, the probability is that they're not going to reproduce.
No, that's not necessarily true back then. That's not necessarily true. Like, especially like if you go back to like damn, that man was old. Even if you, like he said over decades. It didn't happen over 10,000 years. Of course, we've got smarter in 10,000 years. But the point is, he said decades. We could go back 50 years. We're probably a lot. Like, you know how we think that, like, granted, the person that maybe, like, invented the airplane is, like, exceptionally intelligent. But there's probably shit that they'll think we're geniuses about because we know today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just relative to your time. It's a lot of this shit is relevant to your time. It's happened over decades, not over thousands of years. That's when you see IQ jumps. So this whole like creating offspring, that would apply more back in like caveman days, Neanderthals. Like if you didn't have the capacity to not know when you finna get killed, yeah, you wouldn't reproduce. But we talking about 1940s. We wasn't operating in the same way. Like, it's funny because Professor Dave just had a conversation about this. I think when he was talking to Jim Bob, stupid ass. He was telling him, he was like, well, how could people? He was basically trying to insinuate that dumb people don't get to reproduce. Therefore, why? Like, how are they still around? He's like, because humans, we don't natural selection doesn't apply when we take care of weak and stupid people now. Like, we don't let weak and stupid people just die on the streets, you know. And there was probably a point in time where that happened. Like, if you were dumb or weak, you just died. But we don't do that no more. So it's not going to be natural selection in the same way that it might have been, you know, back, you know. And he's not with that concept.
So the reason why is that those dumb people usually make bad decisions. Those bad decisions get them put in jail, and you can't have a kid whenever you're in jail. So that's what happens, is that a lot of dumb people wrong. Well, of course, it's obvious that's true. Is that a lot of the dumbest people are going to get removed from the gene pool, right? What about idiots?
Yeah, no, that don't happen. That's not a thing. Not today. That's not really how it works.
Idiocracy. I love how people are
He ignored that the man said this happened over decades.
people are saying the argument against me is it's a movie.
What?
The argument against what I'm saying is a movie.
Oh.
What do you mean? No, it's obvious this is true. You're going to have the lowest, the lowest, dumbest people that, like, I'm not talking about, see, like, this is what people don't understand. You're thinking I'm talking about people with like a 90 or an 80 IQ. I'm not. I'm talking about people with a 60 or a 70 IQ. This is a totally different wavelength. And
That's not a lot of people, though. Like, that's just not a lot of people. That's not a lot of people. That's just like on the super low end of the IQ spectrum and the super high end. That's not a lot of people.
those people are probably not reproducing, because a lot of those, especially the majority of those people with that low of intelligence, are men. Those men are getting put in jail. That's it.
I
So,
don't even think necessarily becoming a criminal is heavily tied to IQ.
if
I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right about that.
IQ were purely genetic
Yes.
and fixed,
It's not purely genetic.
Look at that. These are 10-year increments, and the difference was that 70 years ago? Like, what are we talking about? 80 years ago? This jump is dramatic. It's a huge increase.
There's a lot of factors to it. Genetics are one factor, but it's not the only factor.
that kind of rapid change would be impossible.
Yeah.
Evolution does not move that fast.
Right.
You're
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not this. We're not talking about evolution. Asmon is acting like he's thinking about Neanderthals not reproducing it to continue their lineage. We're talking about 10-year increments.
great-grandparents were not biologically inferior to you. They just lived in a world with less formal education.
Well, they were shorter too. Another component to this is that
He keep talking about height.
it's height. Like, people in general over the years have become taller. And I think the reason why is the same thing. Like, this isn't even an argument against what I was saying. I think everybody knows this.
Less exposure to abstract symbols,
Yes.
less complex media, and different cognitive demands.
I don't think that the reason why is that they have less complex media or there's less cognitive demands. I don't think
He just named a few things. There's probably a plethora. Golly.
that's even the
And why would you say that's not what? It's one thing if you want to add on, but to just say the couple things he named just doesn't apply is weird.
reason at all. I think that a lot of these people just don't even care about it in the first place. Also, the way that you measured something 100 years ago is totally different foundation than the way that you would do it now.
That's literally the point.
Tall people die sooner at a certain amount of height. Yes.
Which means IQ scores are sensitive to the environment and
Yes.
improve when the environment improves.
Yes.
Access to schooling, nutrition, healthcare, the complexities of daily life, all of these things are relevant, and none were accounted for in Lynn's work. Because of course they weren't. Lynn
I remember in the beginning where he said none of these are arguments, and he's making them now, and Asmon's pretty much agreeing to an extent. He's agreeing with what he's saying now. He's like, yeah, I don't even think anybody disagrees with this. But earlier in the video, he was like, these aren't arguments.
was a self-described scientific racist.
Sure.
His goal was to show how inferior black people were. Richard Lynn's work on
This
race
is, again, it's not even about race in the first place. This person's arguing with me about something that's different. Now, I do think that if you controlled for every variable, here's the reality, right?
Okay.
Is that if you controlled for every single variable and every variable was exactly the same, and you took 1 million people that lived in Somalia and you took 1 million people that lived in China and you judged their IQ, would they both have the same IQ?
I thought he was about to say, okay. So I thought he was, I don't know what this facial expression is. I could be wrong. I feel like he's about to say no. But you would think that the way he set it up, that he's finna say, now, if you had control over every variable, would it be the same? And I would, yes, it would be the same. Because he's looking like he's like, no, it wouldn't be, because now you're getting at is because of their race. You're trying to, I could be prejudging, but the way he just stopped and froze and looked is throwing me off. Like you said, with a small like, yeah, of course, every number wouldn't be exactly the same, but there would not be a huge difference. No, there would not be. Especially, we said 1 million people. It would, the it would be negligent. Whatever the difference is would be negligent. Keep in mind, he said control for every variable. Every single variable being controlled, absolutely it would be the same. And you have no reason to say otherwise.
Everybody knows the answer to this.
What is you gonna say?
Everybody knows.
Is you gonna say?
And IQ.
That, you know what, y'all? He might be an evil genius. He might be an evil genius. Because I think he knows that whatever answer he says will fuck him. If he said, yes, it's all the same, his audience is going to be like, no, you stupid. You're supposed to say black people are stupid. If he says, no, they wouldn't be the same, that would unveil the racism. This man really just said everybody knows the answer. That was the dog whistle to his audience. Like, yes, y'all, we know that black people are inferior, but I cannot say this out loud. But also, if you think the opposite, I ain't say it out loud, so I have plausible deniability. Fam, y'all, Asmon might be an evil genius, honestly, at this point, because there's no way this man just did not say what the answer is out loud. We all know the answer, fam.
Right? Is that if you controlled for every variable.
Richard Lynn's work on
This
race.
is, again, it's not even about race in the first place. This person's arguing with me about something that's different. Now, I do think that if you controlled for every variable, here's the reality, right? Is that if you controlled for every single variable and every variable was exactly the same, and you took 1 million people that lived in Somalia and you took 1 million people that lived in China and you judged their IQ, would they both have the same IQ?
His comment section saying no. 0% chance. So why did Asmon say race isn't a big factor earlier in his video? They said it's not a big factor earlier in his video. He said that. Now he's basically saying if you control for every single variable, that it still wouldn't matter. That is going to be a difference because of their race. Wow. Y'all saying I don't give him too much credit, but I don't see any other reason under this. What I'm saying is if he said it out loud, if he doesn't say it out loud, he has plausible deniability. If he said it out loud, he's getting clipped up for being purely racist at that point. So he didn't say anything. He just let his audience do it for him. The comment section is all saying no.
Everybody knows the answer to this.
And all you're saying is yes, race is the determining factor of the capability of your IQ. That's what he's saying. Again, keep in mind, especially if you take these people from birth, oh yeah, the differences will be negligible. We're not talking about put everybody in the same environment at like 14. You know, there's a lot already embedded at that point.
Everybody knows.
And IQ heavily influenced The Bell Curve, a 1994 book by psychologist Richard J. Herrnstein and political scientist Charles Murray
ridiculous.
that argued intelligence is largely shaped by genetics with some environmental influence, and that IQ is a stronger predictor of life outcomes, income, job success, crime, out-of-wedlock births, than the socioeconomic status you were born into. The Bell Curve has been challenged by geneticists, psychologists, and statisticians for overstating the heritability of IQ across groups and for downplaying environmental variables, treating socially constructed racial categories as biological truth. Richard Lynn was one of the primary scholars who compiled and popularized cross-national IQ datasets.
Here's what I think also, because this is just like more bullshit. I think that
He's not listening. I think he doesn't even know what's happening right now. Talking about because this is all bullshit. Why? Why is it all bullshit? You was ready to give the benefit of the doubt to the self-proclaimed racist scientist or whatever the fuck he calls himself. You gave him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, you know, what does that have to do if he's right? He's providing somebody that's way more respected, that has better, has had practiced better ethics with his study, explaining the outcomes, and you said this is all bullshit, and here's why.
what you should do is you should do more research into this and figure it out yourself. Go over there and
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. The way people defend Asmon, I would have thought this would have been better than that. If the way people defend him, I would have thought way more of his response at this point.
To do
Oh my God.
is you should do more research into this and figure it out yourself. Go over there and test these people for IQ. Test people
That doesn't get to the heart of what the conversation is. You
that came over here that don't have these same problems and then see what their IQs are.
But that's the.
There's a reason why we don't do a lot of research on this.
Why
And
does he keep saying that? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Americans America is diverse. Americans in general have a higher IQ than maybe some places in fucking Africa. You know what I'm saying? Places in if you took a black family, an Indian family, a Mexican family, and put them in the culture of China, they probably would have a higher IQ than Americans at the end of the day. Because I believe Asia on average has a higher IQ. So it just makes so much more sense that you would think that, again, environment, would play a bigger part. Not your fucking race.
the reason why people don't do research on this is because they're afraid of the answer.
This is the fact that he's presenting people that have researched it and he's trying to say do it yourself as if he has the expertise to actually conduct the studies versus being able to understand the study is absolutely absurd to me, and this argument wouldn't fly under any other circumstance. It doesn't fly under any other circumstance that you would say, you know what, we can easily flip that on you. You wouldn't like the answers if you went and did it yourself. Are you pretending that you went to Somalia and got enough case studies to prove that it's because they're Somali versus where their environment is? Are you alluding to the fact that did you do it? Did you do it? Because why are you using this as an argument? He's providing people that did do the work. He's showing you the work they did. He's explaining the way they did it and why they were able to bunk the stuff that you were purporting. But you said this is all bullshit. People don't do it themselves. He's literally showing you he's showing you articles and studies, and you said this is all bullshit. Do your own research. Are you kidding me?
That's the reason why. And I want to go back to what I've said before, is that look at the people that are advocating for more information versus look at the people that are advocating.
And that's always their cop-out. We need to look in it more. Trump keeps trying to count the votes. We need to keep looking into it. The earth is round. Well, I don't know. We ain't been back to the moon since 1960. Like, y'all, this is crazy.
Advocating for less information. I'm confident that I think that more research and more investigation into this will lead to the...
This just sounds like he didn't look into this enough. He just looked into what validated his bias and then stopped there. You didn't look into it much because this is clearly new information to you and you're not even listening to it. You said it's all bullshit. Actually, before he even got into it, he just put this on the screen, didn't explain it, and Asmon said this is all bullshit. How are you sitting here ignoring new information, telling somebody that's showing you the information that they need to look into more information? This is crazy.
The obvious outcome. But for some people, they don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to look into it. And that's the real problem. And they don't want to do that because what they've built onto it is they built an entire ideology of the blank slate. The blank slate doesn't exist.
It's not he's not even saying that. He didn't even say we're blank slates. I don't think nobody truly believes in that.
The blank slate is to a degree true, but there are also a lot of things about it that are not true. And so what happens is that you have people that have this entire ideology that's built around this lie, and because of that, they try to...
Who are you talking to? Because Birdman never said we're blank slates.
And never talk about or never discuss any difference besides this. Can you explain why Lynn said that Iran has an IQ of 80? It's been proven now it's 110. Well, I don't know. I didn't see about Iran. I have no idea what that reason is at all. I don't think...
Yeah, of course you don't. You don't give a fuck either.
think that Iran has an IQ of 110, but I know that Iranians have very high IQs on average. 110 would be higher than anybody else in the world by 5 points. So I find that to be unlikely. But overall, I think that's very true.
Alleging to show innate racial hierarchies.
Yes.
This is the textbook definition of racism, by the way, that race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and that those different...
It is a fundamental determinant of traits. It obviously is.
traits and that those different...
It is a fundamental determinant of traits. It obviously is.
No, it's not. Obviously, it's not. You fucking idiot. No, it's not. Besides maybe your fucking skin color? No. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?
One of the best traits is skin color.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, Asmon. If you're black, chances are your kids will be black, Asmon. Yes. 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 Your race determines is a determinant of your race. Yes.
Big surprise. People of one race are going to have one skin color. This is one thing that people don't even consider with...
Does he really think this? God. There's no way. It's absolutely no fucking way.
Like racism and skin color are actually two different things.
Wait, what?
Consider with like racism and skin color are actually two different things.
No, racism is the prejudice and bias against people because of their race. What the fuck are you talking about? He's defining racism, not saying that...
Like, if you have people that are from a different race, like, race isn't always defined by just, like, one specific thing. Skin color is just the most obvious indicator of that.
What?
Very clearly, there are racial differences between people. Anybody knows this.
What are they? What are you talking about besides the melanin pigmentation? What are you talking about? What else are you talking about?
This is the type of a priori knowledge that...
He's not going to say what he's talking about. Are you going to say what are you referring to outside of our skin color? Because...
every single person in the entire world knows is true, but inside of Western culture, we're supposed to pretend...
He keeps doing this, I'm not going to say the quiet part out loud shit, and it's like, his audience don't care. But what the fuck? He's literally doing this, I can't say this out loud, but y'all know what I'm getting at shit. And then he tried to claim that race isn't a... IQ, the race is like not as important in IQ, but now that's becoming the basis of your argument.
More money, more money.
Shout out to Watts for the $2 super chat. 120 people, let's go. Yeah, shout out to y'all. Just leave a like, man. A like is free. Like the stream, like the stream. This is so crazy. A random Sunday stream on the fly. 120 people. Appreciate you, Watts.
like it's not true because people are all willingly participating in this deliberate lie. Very clearly, race is a factor. It's
like race is
obviously a factor, same as gender is and everything else. But for some reason, because people are afraid of talking about this, nobody ever wants to look into it at all.
Why is he? Nobody looked into race? What is he talking about? Are you saying nobody's looked into race? Is that what you're saying?
Produce an inherent superiority or hierarchy.
Yeah.
Anyway, those...
Yeah, what? You just ignored the fact that he was defining racism.
Those data sets compiled by Lynn were later cited approvingly by the bell curve authors Murray and Herrnstein.
Yeah.
In fact, Murray has explicitly acknowledged Lynn's work as part of the research base for their claims about group IQ differences. The problem is not simply that Lynn helped...
Because also keep in mind that if you were actually trying to debunk this, you would do further research into people that live in these areas, and then he would be showing that further research and the IQ differences being more, like, smaller, right? Like, okay, well, there was other research, and this research came out, and it proved that it wasn't true.
He don't understand. He doesn't know what's happening. Like, he just doesn't know what's happening at all, clearly.
Isn't it interesting to you that in all of these videos and all of this information, not a single actual point of like counter research is provided?
He didn't. Well, we did get to the point where he actually found that the average IQ was not 70 there, but not only that, Asmon just doesn't even know what's happening right now. He's not following the conversation. He is stupid. He's stupid.
It's all just people saying that he's racist or other books that other people disagreed
Well, he didn't say you're racist yet.
with.
Actually, I don't even know if he ever said it. Because I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Birdman said what he said was racist versus like he is racist. Because you could be saying something racist and may be oblivious to it, but
Or talking about something in a theoretical means, but there's never actually any data that's disproving this. I wonder why that is. We all know why that is.
Extreme views, including open support for eugenics, but that his data practices have been widely criticized for flaws in its methodology.
Eugenics works. A good example of it is Yao Ming. So Yao Ming's like 7'4", 7'5", or something like that. And he was actually a product of China having people doing selective breeding. I mean, this is obviously true. If you have two black people that have a kid, the kid's going to be black. If you have two white people that have a kid, the kid's going to be white. If you have two people that are very tall that have a kid, the probability is the kid's going to be very tall. This is the type of what I was saying before. It is this willing, deliberate, and desperate attempt to totally deny every...
I love how one person is providing scientific data for the reason that they have they're providing scientific data and research that's pretty much credible to why they have the belief they have. Asmon's just saying shit that he feels to refute it. He's just saying what he feels to refute it. And I think he kind of got to do that because he's responding to somebody criticizing him on the fly, and he can't just like let it all fly. He can't just say it. But this is exactly the problem Destiny said he had with him. It's like you stream your whole fucking life all the time. Why can't you like pull up some, even if you fake the funk to act like you looking for some research, look up something to prove what you think. Look up what you believe and prove it. But you can't, because he says everybody's lying. It's all untrue. They don't want you to believe what you see with your own eyes. That's why he can't pull up any research. He probably don't even know the first thing to do to look up any fucking academic articles.
Observable facet of reality. And this reality denial, there is an entire pyramid and an entire temple of misinformation.
Like the fact that he just sat here and said two tall people might have a tall kid or two black people gonna have a black kid. Like, bro, you just don't understand what's happening in this conversation. And his audience is just eating it the fuck up.
And distorted values that are coming out of this. These are people who are fundamentally, not only are they against science, but they're afraid of the consequences of science.
What?
That's really it.
One of y'all are talking about it and the other is not.
Has nothing to do with IQ, though. What do you think the probability is that that's really it? Science, but they're afraid of the consequences of science. That's really it. That has nothing to do with IQ, though. What do you think the probability is that the hereditary traits that are physically observable are the only elements of things that could have anything to do with genetic variability?
That was not what that was. He weaseled his way around responding to that. That he just weaseled his way around it. That was not actually refuting it, because nobody's denying that that is absolutely no connection with genetics with IQ. Nobody's making that argument, but you're pretending like Somali's got a cap. You sat there and said everybody knows the answer. If you controlled every single variable of an Asian and a Somali, or whatever the two groups he said, I think that's what it was, and you just sat there and basically said they'll still be worse off, even with everything under control. And again, you would need to do that from birth, because you can change that shit dramatically in one generation. And if you do that, then you've already offset in 20 years, you've already offset what might have been before if you keep that up.
What do you think the probability is that height and skin color are almost 100% genetically heritable and IQ isn't at all?
Nobody said that. Nobody said it isn't at all.
Really? Think about this for 3 seconds.
I hate how he'll respond to people in the comments that disagree with him but won't have a conversation with somebody that disagrees with him, especially somebody that's competent.
Upon reviewing Lynn's work, Witchert states the following. The assertion that the average IQ of Africans is below 70 is not tenable, even under the most lenient of inclusion criteria. Because Lynn missed a sizable portion of the relevant literature, their estimate of average IQ of Africans is clearly too low. Combined, the current systematic review and the results of our review of Raven's test suggests that the average IQ of African test takers is close to 80.
Is this an argument against me? Like, wait a minute, wait. So you're quoting people who are saying that it's not 67, it's 80? Like, oh my God, do you understand how massive of a difference that is versus 100? Holy shit, that's insane.
Wait, why is he acting like that doesn't make a big difference? Why is he acting like that's not a significant difference? Like, yeah, 12 isn't a big leap in numbers, but as far as if you're talking about an IQ, why are you acting like 12 points doesn't give you a completely different perception of what you're saying? What? Hell, even if you put it in terms of a test, that's the difference between passing and failing, ain't it? If you just think about the percentage on a test, that's the difference between failing and doing good. Like, why is he pretending like just because 12 isn't a big number that all of a sudden it's like, oh God, like, yes, if you're saying the average is 68 or 67, whatever, I think you said 68, whatever it was, 68, and it's actually 80, yeah, that gives you a completely different perception of what you're trying to say. Exactly. Like, you're not far from average at 80, but 68 is like, you probably can't function alone.
Oh my God.
We believe that the accuracy...
It's not an F, it's a D minus, guys.
See, that's just completely dishonest. Whoa, shit. Janae, I can't do it. It don't trigger. I gotta trigger something for that though, man. Shout out to Janae for the $20 super sticker. Y'all, W's for Janae in the chat, man. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. W's for Janae in the chat, man. W mod. W donation. Thank you, Janae. Please, y'all. W's for Janae in the chat. At least 20. Shit, gunshots fine. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta make a way for the stickers to show, to do something. Thank you though. I appreciate you.
And this is their argument. There's a reason why as I said, there's a reason why they don't do research into this.
Estimates of
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, he's arguing against you? Yes, you cannot join the army with an IQ below 80, by the way. They're borderline. Exactly. So I think that the benchmark, so you cannot be part of the army if your IQ is, I think, below 82. And the reason why is because, and also keep in mind, average.
Is that not an American standard, though?
Now, what does average mean? It means half of the people
but
are
you could join ICE.
below that. Uh-oh. Fill a society with a bunch of people where the average IQ is 80,
What is these
and
arguments?
you're going to have a PvP server.
That's why I said I don't know what army he's talking about.
Sorry. It's pretty fucking obvious.
IQ of sub-Saharan African countries can be improved considerably.
Shout out out to BBQ Farts, funny name, for the $20 super chat. Wow. Thank you, BBQ Farts. Love to see your channel grow. Have you been here from the beginning? I feel like I've seen your name before. I'm not 100%, but regardless, thank you, y'all. Shout out to BBQ Farts for the $20 super chat, y'all. W's for BBQ. Wow, y'all, thank y'all. I really appreciate these donos, man. Thank you.
What's the median? Oh, okay.
What Wichards is saying here is that Lynn conducted bad science,
Yes.
and that the average estimated IQ of poverty-stricken African people is actually close to average, which is usually defined.
The average, it's actually, wait, what?
African people is actually close to average.
80 is not the average at all.
Did he say it is the average? Did he say it's the average? I could have sworn he just said it's close to average. I could have sworn he just said close to average. I could have sworn he said that. Oh, you was here since the election? Oh, yeah, that's the beginning. Super appreciate the support. Super appreciate it.
What are you talking about? That's extremely low in America.
No, the average, what did it say? 85 to 115.
That's incredibly low. It's low in Asia too. Wait, what?
Well, if the average is higher in Asia, then obviously, dumbass. But we're talking about Africa. We're talking about Africa where it's probably below America on average. But if their average is 80, that's close to the average in America, which means it's not that bad because they have, in a lot of the countries in Africa, not all, they have less resources in education. So that should tell you that given those resources in education, their IQ would probably be the same or above.
Which is usually
hell at this point. I think if you put an American in Africa, they'll be worse than the Africans. The way we get, the way people like Asmon over here is behaving with having all this access and information, y'all still dumb as fuck.
Defined as between 85.
And I'm not claiming to be hella smart, but I know I'm not gonna get on here and say no stupid shit like this.
To 115.
So if it's between 85 and 115, and he said it was low 80s, and it was 80.
No,
82, then it wouldn't be part of the average.
He didn't. Why are you saying that? He literally said it's close to average. He did not say it is average. Why are you? He keeps arguing with things that aren't existing. He keeps saying shit that's not happening to make his arguments, and his fucking audience is probably still just like, yeah, Asmon, you're right. Get him.
Just said the number wrong.
Their environment improves, so too with their average IQ scores due to the Flynn effect. And remember, we are talking about countries that have faced civil war, famine, disrupted schooling.
Cannot wait to hear what he has to say about this.
Disease.
Civil war, famine, disruptive schooling, disease. Okay, these seem all great reasons to bring these people into America. This is such a great list of reasons why into America.
Whoa, shit.
This is such a great list of reasons why these people should come to our country. Yeah, I mean, now, like, guys, I wasn't convinced. Now I'm totally convinced. Them all great or famine.
Countries that have faced civil war, famine, disrupted schooling, disease.
Civil war, famine, disruptive schooling, disease. Okay, these seem all great.
See, at what point has Birdman ever said we should be bringing Somalis to America? When has that ever been the topic of conversation? When has that ever been said? That's not the point of this conversation.
Great reasons to bring these people into America. This is such a great list of reasons why these people should come to our country. Yeah, I mean, now, like, guys, I wasn't convinced. Now I'm totally convinced. Now they should be here.
And again, like I said earlier, the people that do immigrate here do not engage in all that activity because they're trying to get away from it, you fucking idiot.
For sure.
And extreme poverty. Not to
like, imagine like you want the... Imagine, I'm trying to put this into perspective. Imagine as an American, what you value, what you want more than anything is the best education possible. Like you, whatever. And then you say, I want to move to fucking China because they got the best education. And you know, we do got a culture here of violence, and you know what I'm saying, like, well, at least in their eyes, they see America as violent and loving guns and blah blah blah. And as a person that wants to leave America to go to China because you want the best education possible, you go there and then you wreak havoc on China? What the fuck are we talking about? This doesn't make any fucking sense. It just does not make sense whatsoever. Right? It's just pure racism. That's all. You're not making any fucking sense. Again, I'm not saying every immigrant comes with the best intentions, but overwhelmingly they do. To the point where you can't keep talking about these people as if they're the rot on what's happening in America, because they're not. Y'all just keep lying about these people.
Mentioned constant exploitation by Western countries that literally.
That's right. It's Western countries' fault why these countries are shitholes. And that's the reason why, for
I
example,
mean, it's a part of it.
Whenever Britain invaded China and forced them to, buy tea and stuff.
No, you don't need to use another analogy. You can use what America has done to these other countries. Why? You don't have to go to other countries. America has literally been doing this to countries for decades. So you don't have to jump to another country. You just don't. We've done it. You could just use it as an example. Don't jump to another country so you can remove yourself and depart your. When y'all get what I'm saying, I'm not saying he did it, but the point is the country that you're in has engaged in imperialism. So let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Like that, and they colonized India. That's why there's no smart people and people successful in China and India. That's the exact reason. Because, see, like every country that, Europeans colonized is now just totally fucking famine-stricken and terrible. Like China, for example. It's just...
persists to this day.
God.
The phone you're watching this video on contains cobalt,
Yes.
a chemical element that is abundant in the Congo. This element is mined using child labor in the Congo,
Yes.
and not only does this mining degrade the environment and pollute the local water system, it results in birth defects of the children born there. As they
So
have
why would you want to bring a bunch of defective kids in?
Oh my God, he's just actively missing the fucking point. He's just actively, like, these. God, I can't stand stupid people, bro. I cannot, bro. I cannot. Like, you have to be intentionally this stupid to miss the point. It has to be intentional. It has to be.
into America?
Again, nobody's saying bring everybody to America. First of all, why is that your first thought versus, damn, this is fucked up? Like, how was your first thought? Yeah, these people got cobalt in their drinks, in their water, so why are we bringing them to America? Why aren't you saying, damn, why do they have to deal with this? Why isn't that your first thought? I wonder if them was, I'm not making any definitive statements, but I just wonder how it would have felt if them was like white kids on the screen. Like if these little white kids. Like what he would have said if them was like little white kids. This is crazy to me.
Why would you want to do that? That's stupid. Like you're making my argument. Like duh, like nobody wants to do that. That's ridiculous.
Like he don't even care about the fact that that's fucked up. He don't even care.
Of course.
high levels of cobalt and uranium in their blood. In 1996, the American Psychological Association's Task Force on Intelligence explicitly warned that environmental factors such as education, nutrition, and health significantly influence IQ test performance.
Why do they...
Like, you know what I just thought about? If he's going to use that argument, I seen somebody just say he's sick, and it is kind of sick because in America, we've dealt with that with lead. Of course, it's not on the same level, but we had to get lead out of water. If he presented that same information, but like, a lot of kids in poverty had to grow up with lead in their wall and lead in their water, which is why, people in poverty can't get out of it because their ceiling is being limited by having lead in their water and walls. And And he's like, well, yeah, why would we spend money investing on those people? Like, would that be your initial response? Like, well, yeah, why would we even invest in those communities if they have lead in their water? You know, why would we invest in that? Like, what are we talking about, bro? This like, would that be your first thought, or would you be like, what the fuck? That's fucked up. This is America. We should get lead out of the water, which we've been doing, you know. So when you see kids with cobalt in their fucking water, you're like, yeah, why are we bringing them here? You ain't thinking like maybe they should not do that. But these people don't think that if I'm not saying the world is America's responsibility, but they don't think like if the living conditions were improved globally, that we all would be better off. They mad because we sending condoms to countries in Africa and shit. Why are we sending them condoms? I'm sorry that we don't want AIDS to spread. What the fuck are we talking about? You mad that we trying to keep the spread of AIDS low? What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
Keep warning and not researching. Why is it that all of these people are talking about it, but there's never any data analysis?
What the, why is this on the fucking screen? What the fuck? This whole time he's been putting the data on the screen, and obviously he can't put an entire study on the fucking screen. But he's showing you these titles and where to find them, and he's like, where's the data? Bitch, what are you looking at? He does. I don't know if Asmon's ever looked at a study before. Like, has Asmon ever looked at a study in his life? This is comedy now. This is actually funny. This is actually funny. This is literally this this article says from 96, it got Americans, it's from American psychologists, and you got a bunch of people named at different universities that worked on this article, and he says, where's the data? This is not real. This is not real. This is just not real whatsoever. It's just not. God. Oh, gosh.
Don't you find that to be interesting? What are the odds of that?
If you ignore those variables and jump straight to biology,
This has to be a joke.
well, you're not following the science.
They're all variables.
So this brings us back to Zach's tweet.
Right.
Yes, this claim is racist because it was made
It's
by
racist.
a racist whose entire purpose was to denigrate an entire continent to uphold white supremacist narratives.
Guys, it's 80. It's not 67. It's not 68. It's actually all the way up there at 80. It's
This is just a way to just make it seem like that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and it does.
racist. It's racist. Guys, it's racist. Oh, no.
I mean, why else would a scientific racist say that the IQ is lower than it actually is? Why wouldn't that matter to you? Why is that irrelevant to you? It'd be different if he just handled it wrong, but he's a self-proclaimed scientific racist. So I can't read everything. I mean, it's probably in Birdman's video. Something emeritus professor who has been called one of the most I thought it said unethical, unsomething and raw scientific racists operating today has had one of his blanks subjected to an expression of concern. I mean, yeah, he's discredited.
Jesus Christ. Keep in mind the biggest mining operations in Africa are
Yeah, I really do hope Birdman responds. I hope he does.
Chinese.
This is a long video. Well, so far we only 30 minutes in, so I don't know where he's gonna go after the end of Birdman's video, but I hope he responds. Yeah, this should be good.
They usually employ Russian mercenaries for protection. What's this Western bullshit? Well, of course the Chinese do that. I mean, duh.
Narratives like eugenics. The claim wasn't a fact because facts survive scrutiny.
And that's true. Asmon said it's a fact, and Birdman said it's not a fact. So why is he saying like, oh, it's not 68, it's 80? It's like, well, you said this is a fact. If it's actually not a fact, why are you okay with being loud and wrong, sir?
They don't.
That's right, guys. The best case scenario is that it's 80. Imagine that.
Collapse the moment you ask who collected the data
Yes.
and whether other researchers could replicate those results. If
Well,
you're
why are other researchers not replicating these results on a regular basis?
Wait, why do you? What the fuck is he? He's just creating. This is. Oh my god. What do you think like people supposed to study the same subjects like every year or something? Like what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Why is this not happening? Why is it that...
And why are you making this proclamation and you probably haven't looked at it for 2 seconds?
You know, we're talking about researchers replicating results. Why is it that none of these researchers are doing this on a regular basis?
What is a regular basis?
Why is it that this outcome isn't able to be reproduced through science? It's because they're afraid to do so. And they're afraid to do so because...
Yeah, this is pure cope, Cybot. This is cope. This is pure cope. Because you just, like, you didn't engage with the refutations. You said it's bullshit. And now you're saying he's showing you proof of more ethical studies of IQ in Africa. He's showing you, even if you don't agree with it, you didn't refute it. You said it's bullshit. You just said it's bullshit.
Because they know what the answer is.
And he keeps saying they know what the answer is, bro. Everybody is not out here trying to just be politically correct, bro. Everybody's not doing that the way you want to pretend like they are.
a worldview requires Somalia or any other African country to be permanently
Yes.
capped at 68 IQ in order to make sense, then the science wasn't the point.
Yes.
The conclusion is.
Yes.
And that.
Stop saying yes. He keeps saying yes. He's not listening. He's just saying yes. You don't even know what you're agreeing to.
The
Ironic.
conclusion is the point, actually. Like, if
Oh, wait, thanks for saying the quiet part out loud. You just admitted it. Like, he's fucking
68
stupid.
IQ in order to make sense, then the science wasn't the point.
Yes.
The conclusion is.
Yes.
And that.
Well, the
ironic.
conclusion is the point, actually. Like, if there's a country that has an IQ of 68 average, or let's say it's 80 on average, let's assume it's 85. Do I want to bring a bunch of median level, average 85
Keep making this argument that nobody's making. Oh, my fucking.
IQ people into the country? No, it's because these people are like an entire almost standard deviation below the average, and I think that their functional value in society is going to be minimal. That's the reason why.
Is narrative pushing.
Is this the whole video? Jesus. It's the whole video. Man, that's sad. Wow, mic drops, I know. So basically, this guy spent his entire video calling me racist. And
I don't even think he called him racist once. I think he was just saying that what he said is racist. I don't think he ever said Asmon Gold is racist. He was saying that the Flynn guy was racist and that it's a racist talking point, and you got the information from somebody that's racist. He never said Asmon was racist. Why did he just say he finna just lie? He finna act like that man wasn't providing evidence for his claims and just say he called me racist.
then when he finally showed the data still showed the exact same thing that I was saying, but he said it was a different number.
Wait. The data showed what I said, but the data showed that what I said was wrong. What the fuck is he talking about? This is not real. This is not real. Nanya is not, the conclusion is the point after you've done the research versus I have a conclusion, so I only want to validate it by stuff that agrees with me. Those are two different things. It's not that the conclusion don't matter, but the point is like I have a conclusion, so let me go only try to figure out a way to validate my conclusion versus looking at what actually is the conclusion from the scientific process. That's the difference.
If you think that there's no difference between somebody with a 100 IQ and a 100 and an 80 IQ,
Why are you talking about 100? You said 68 versus 80. Those are two very different things. Yeah, pure confirmation bias.
you probably have an 80 IQ. I'm sorry, but there's a reason why the military doesn't let people in with that level of an IQ. It's because they're functionally
Well, Asmon, if 80 is only slightly below average, I don't see why you wouldn't let people with 80 IQ into the military. Why are we pretending like you have to be highly educated? I think I think that he thinks that this IQ thing means like it's like this I don't know how to word it. Like he thinks that if you're below average, like then you're useless almost. Like, if you have a below average IQ, like, you just useless. I don't think these people understand what IQ is. I think they think that, like, I don't know. It's almost as if, like, if you're average IQ, then the sky's the limit, maybe? I don't know. It's almost as if, like, if you're average, you could do anything. But if you're below average, you're mentally ill. Or, like, you're mentally retarded. Like, I don't know. The way he's looking at this, like, you don't have to be the most intelligent person to be in the fucking military necessarily. Like, I don't know why these people act like the military is this, like, super intellect. Like, he's acting like it's just this skill that you need to have. I don't even care what part of the military you go into. It's just another job. You know, I'm not trying to downplay the military, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's a job that just takes a certain skill set depending on what you do. It's not that you have to be super intelligent to be in the military. That's a terrible barometer to try to place on IQ. You can't be in the military if you're below 80. It's like, well, obviously, if you're mentally deficient, then certain jobs, yes, you can have, especially like a military, being in dangerous places, dealing with dangerous equipment. Obviously, you can't be mentally deficient, obviously. But just slightly below average, that means they don't need you to be doing like high-level math equations or something like that. Like, what the fuck? You can be infantry with a below-average IQ.
Useless, and they're stupid. And the fact is that you don't want to bring any of those people. This guy's a generational melty.
Like, you see, this is the only example he can use, even though it's kind of meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
Here, read the tweet and scroll up. What is this? Oh my God. He's too personal instead of factual. Well, he's in, like, what is here? No, these numbers show. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Bro.
Now, I will say, I do think. Oh, that's old. Oh, I'm thinking it's new. This is old tweets. Granted, it don't matter. I do think Birdman, sometimes you can tell when something bothers him. You can tell when something bothers him.
Bro. Oh my God!
Oh, this was the
This is
Ironheart shit?
another idiot parenting something he knows nothing about. Using per capita for crime arrests is fudging of the gentlemen. Gentlemen, oh my God! Wow. Okay, give me a minute. I gotta look at this. All right, I'm back. So, using per capita for crime arrests is fudging of the numbers. Guys, listen, if you're looking at this number, why are people in your rates below average? That's a good question, right? Oh my fucking God. The problem is arrests don't take into account exonerations, and black people are the majority of exonerees. Try again, 11 IQ. Surely, guys, surely there's nothing in per capita at all, and every group of people commits crime at the exact same ratio.
Who said that people commit crimes at the exact same rate? Oh my God. The problem is they don't understand what per capita is supposed to be used for and tells you. They just use it to try to say black people are bad people. That's why y'all use per capita. That's the problem that we have with it. It's not to say that it's not true. It's not to say that everybody commits crime at the same rate. That's not what nobody's arguing, you fucking idiot.
Of course, that's exactly the argument. Black people are over-policed and it gives rise to misconduct. Black people are over-policed and it gives rise to misconduct? Oh my God. Black people do not dominate crime statistics. White people do. That's why you idiots try to use, quote, per capita. This guy's dumber than I thought.
No, stop it. The projection. No, it is because white people do commit crime more, but they use per capita. The reason they use the per capita is to hide the fact that white people commit crime more. That's why they use it. That's the reason you use it. You got to say per capita because you know the test is if you want to mitigate crime, right? If you got rid of every black person in America, would crime go down more than if you got rid of all white people in America? Since you want to mitigate crime, that's why when we talk about, like, if you want to talk about crime, if you had more immigrants in America than natural born citizens, you would have less crime. Of course, this is clearly a very extreme hypothetical, but y'all get what I'm saying. There more white people commit crime in America just because the per capita thing don't lower crime completely. So if you want to lower crime, this is just y'all care so much about crime. If you got rid of every white person in America, there would be way less crime than if you got rid of every black person in America. That's the reason this per capita shit is stupid. And the way y'all use it is just to make black people look bad.
Oh my God. So basically, I think I'm understanding something. I think that this person made this video about me because honestly, they probably thought they were being targeted. I think this guy straight up doesn't like white people. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's see it.
That would be hilarious if he took a IQ test.
It's not. I'm not. It's irrelevant. The point is who started it. Objectively, the answer is white people. Who started World War I? We can discuss Asians or we can discuss the topic at hand. We're not going to do both. The claim was that white people are the most destructive race. Is this not a true claim?
That's the same shit they pull. They would say that don't black people commit more crime per capita? They have to say per capita because that's the only way it works. So how do you feel about him saying white people are the most destructive race? How do y'all feel about that? Again, that's something that somebody probably never has to say for any real reason, even though it's true. But what are you getting at when you say it?
I'm asking because I don't know, but I do know there's evidence supporting this claim. Oh my God. We have an actual racist retard.
He's so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. So he's racist when he says white people are the most destructive, but you're not racist when you say black people commit crime, violent crimes more per capita, or that Somalis have low IQs. Isn't it just true? Is it not just true, Asmon? Ain't it just true? So he's racist for saying that, but you're not. Yes, right. Facts are racist now, right?
Holy shit. So this is the guy that wanted
the fact that he won't
to criticize me for racism, and so he uses a bunch of bullshit statistics, and then he finds...
I'm not going to sit here and claim to know the context of this conversation, but it clearly looks like Birdman is putting the mirror on the way these people talk about race and crime and statistics. That's what it looks like from what I'm seeing right now. No, these numbers show white people commit rape more than all other groups. Like, this is just, I'm sure he didn't say this just cause. I'm sure he didn't. Because usually that's always what that's what a lot of us go to, is just like, y'all commit rape more than other people, but we don't just go out and say it because we're not trying to indict all white people for being rapists.
Finally, the only concrete evidence that
nobody's saying per capita is racist. It's the way they use it is to be racist. That's the problem. Nobody's denying the factuality of the statement. It's the problem that people say it just to make black people sound bad. I don't walk around saying white people commit rape at a high rate. For what? Why? What am I trying to get at? What is the point? I'm not trying to get white people out I'm not saying that they're inherently rapists. Like, there's no purpose behind just saying black people commit crime at a higher rate than white people. And then the problem with that is we know exactly why that happens. There is a straight through line of why black people engage in certain criminal behavior. Why white people do so much rape? If you want to really go down this, what the fuck is the reason? Why? I don't know where's the through line to that act. So, miss me with this white people commit crime at a high rate per capita. Like, what the fuck? And again, you know that it's gang violence, and we know why gangs exist. And we know it's not because of their own doing. So,
uses is something that is basically proving my point, and I can see why he takes this stuff personally. What a retard. Master and other things you never...
Yeah, Alva, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't just say these things randomly. He's talking to people clearly, and is clearly throwing the logic that they use with the per capita stuff right back at them.
Say to anyone in person, why waste your limited McDonald's internet on frivolous nonsense instead of engaging with the topic? White people are a world minority, yet they commit the most atrocities per capita. You won't like that one.
There you go. See, and Asmon is reading this in a vacuum as if he's not responding to people that were probably being racist. And are you going to refute it, Asmon? Is it not true? What are we talking about? Are you just going to ignore the factuality because facts aren't racist, right? Facts aren't racist, Asmon. You should just be like, yes, this is true, and just keep it pushing, right? He's just stating the truth.
Really? Well, what about Mao? And no, these groups show white people commit rape more than the other groups combined. Do you want to know the reason why rape is being... this is going to be maybe a spicy fucking take here. But the reason why rape is being seen by white people more, it's because in a lot of places in Africa, it's not against the law.
Why are you talking about Africa? Why the fuck you jumped to Africa? He claims he's not racist. Like, he claims he's not racist, and the first thing he do is jump to Africa. Fuck the Middle East. You know, like, is this, like, you literally jump straight to Africa. Why, Asmon? Why is Africa just on your mind to this extent that every comparison gotta go back to Africa? And if I'm not, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Birdman is probably just talking about America, because when y'all do the 1350 shit, y'all talking about America. You're not talking about the world. I'm pretty sure he's talking about rape in America. I'm almost certain that's what the fuck he's talking about. Why the fuck are you jumping to Africa? Why is Africa on your mind so much? Golly. Like, yeah, thank you. Like, just fuck the Middle East. Like, just, oh my God. I don't even know if he's aware the mask is slipping at this point. He posted FBI stats. That's America. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm certain this is about America, and you just,
That's the reason why. Has it ever occurred to you that they don't even have laws for spousal rape? They don't even have laws for rape in general.
Like I said, the stupidity is off the charts because nobody in his chat is probably gonna. Okay, I see pushback. False. Check Sudan and Yemen. Zach, PvP servers. No white people involved. Oh, they disagreed with him for a different reason.
So this whole thing, yeah, duh. Fucking obviously. What a stupid argument. Yeah, they don't have the data. Do you know why they don't have the data? It's because they don't care. They treat women like second-class citizens and like livestock. Duh.
I wonder if anybody in his chat would have ever said. I'm sure he's just talking about America, though.
What is this here? Somalia outlawed rape in 2018? Really? Wow. Perfect. Good timing. And so, did you hear spousal abuse dropped to 0% in Afghanistan? Yeah, it sure did. And anyway, you're trying to manipulate the numbers. Do you think a judge...
Yeah, I do think that was a very broad claim that I don't know how true it is. I don't know how true
looks at a white person being tried for rape and thinks about per capita. What does this even mean? I don't even know what this means. Exactly. So you're telling me that you condemn whitewashing as a weak attempt to win a debate online. You don't have a history of condemning the nefarious acts of white people, so I reject the attempt. You do, however, have a racist streak, pattern recognition, remember? So we have somebody here who is actually a racist. We have an
I
actual
love how every fact that he said about white people is racist, but when Asmon says facts about people of color, it's just facts. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And he's none the wiser to realize how ironic this is.
racist person who got upset that I said that Somalians had a very,
And
very low IQ and I don't want them in America.
he didn't even get upset. That's why I said I don't even understand his reaction, because he didn't call him racist. He didn't get upset. It seemed like he just wanted to set the record straight. It seemed like he just wanted to refute. I'm sorry, y'all. Drinking a lot of a carbonated drink. It seemed like he just wanted to set the record straight. So this isn't, I don't see this as
America. He's also weirdly obsessed with IQ. Wait, what is this? Weirdly obsessed with IQ.
he probably finna go to his pinned tweet.
In case you were wondering, your IQ score is 141. So this guy got a 141 IQ score. Wow, that's really impressive. Honestly, I would have expected a better video.
Am I exhausted? Do I look exhausted? I'm actually not.
Yeah. I mean, really, after all this, this is sad. Honestly, this is a stronger argument against what I said than his video is. Because how is it that a person that says that they have 141 IQ can be this stupid? No, this is actually a...
What did he do that was so stupid, bro? What was shown to you that's stupid? What was shown to him that was stupid?
better argument than his entire video. Wow. AI helped him assign his actual IQ. Who cares? We're thinking about IQ about this random person who gives a shit. And so anyway, notice how we aren't talking about this at all. You want to take?
I'm so confused as to why he's saying it's stupid. Like, Asmon, you literally asked for data analysis while it was on the screen. You ignored arguments. You said he's providing evidence for his arguments, and you said this BS. You're not following what was happening in the video. You're making arguments that nobody ever made and arguing against them. Like, what? How do you have the gall to say anybody is stupid in this exchange?
There, which ethnic group in America brutalized and enslaved who again? This is right, guys. Which ethnic group right now? Like, this is what I think.
I don't know why. Yo, show. Hi, CHD. What the hell? Hey, what's good? Hey, hi, CHD in this bitch. What's good, man? I didn't expect to see you come through here. I love your content, man. Appreciate you. But Asmon's responding to Birdman, Birdman's IQ video. And it's worse than I ever could have expected. It's worse than I ever could have expected. But yeah, that was a big surprise seeing you come through here, man. Appreciate you.
It's funny. Which ethnic group right now has slavery? Which Western country has slavery now? None of them. How many African countries have slavery? Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, man.
This is so obvious. How do you think? Didn't they build that nice thing in Qatar? Was it Qatar?
Hey, I don't know if y'all know who High CHD is, but he be on these grifters' necks too and makes great content, just so y'all know.
Whenever they built that hole, that I think, yeah, of course. Yeah, they do have this. Wait, and this is the same guy that just got done making the argument about these kids, the current state of child labor in the cobalt mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So they're like, do you think these kids want to do this? Fuck no, they don't want to do this. So you use this argument. This person does not believe that you can be racist against white people. That's why he openly hates white people, yet he's the one that's able to call anybody racist. Well, this guy's just an idiot. I think we're going to have to focus on him more. Like, now that I'm seeing this, we're going to have to make more content about this individual.
It's funny because I just watched your Wonder Man review today, and I was like, now I got to watch this shit. Because I definitely just watched that video today. This
is going to continue to, this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. Oh my God. Technically, Americans bought slaves. The slaves were enslaved by African kingdoms. Yeah, like we didn't come over to Africa with a lasso and round up all of the people that we used as slaves. We didn't do that.
Wait.
They sold us the slaves because they had enslaved them when we got there. That's the reason. Duh. This is crazy. Some of these people don't understand. In a room of 100 people, 2 wear red shirts, 98 wear white. 1 of the red shirts steal, 30 blue shirts steal. Per capita, the red shirts have a 50% crime rate. Blue has a 31% crime rate. Oh my God. Like this, the sample size is 30. Of course, yes, wow. You don't understand what per capita is used for. Only absolute numbers matter for law enforcement. Only absolute numbers matter for law enforcement.
Right now, exactly. Like I
Oh my God. Yeah, he's also melting down.
Yeah, I'm not shocked in the slightest, especially if you said it's actually really good and they still found a reason to complain. It's crazy.
In his own comment section. Wait, what? He's crashing out in his own comment. Is this true?
Thanks, man. That means a lot coming from you. That means a lot coming from you, bro. Thank you.
The Roach King literally reacting to the video. Video's barreling up for an hour. He's that starved for content, and of course his weirdo audience has attempted to come here, brigade the video, and leave downvotes. They're saying what they're doing. Unfortunately for them, they won't be able to comment here. Yeah, you can. I can comment. It's not even a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, what is this? Yeah, you
Wait, is Asmon on a... I don't know if it's a burner, but maybe it's not a secret. I don't think he would be that, like, aloof to... Maybe everybody knows that this is his, I guess, account that he looks at other content. I'm assuming he's not that stupid to just expose that he has a burner or something like that. I just saw this picture and it don't look like him.
obviously can. You can comment. You can't shut. You have to. You can't shut down comments from everybody. You have to either turn off comments entirely, or you have to make it to where comments are on approval only. That's not how it works. Link the video. I'll link the video to you guys. This is the one I watched, right? He's individually deleting them. Wait a minute. So this guy's
now Birdman did. I looked at his comments. It seems like he said he's gonna like block and delete comments of Asmon's fan base. I think I said this earlier in the stream. Sorry. I think that's a bad look. It's just something else for people to attack you on. It looks weak. It looks like your feelings getting hurt. I don't know why he feels like, because they like when I made an Asmon video, I got brigaded, but I let all them comments sit. Only comments I delete in my comment section is like just extremely racist ones. Those are the only comments I delete. But other than that, I let everybody say what the fuck they gonna say. I do think it's like they came strong. He got 1.2K dislikes versus 2.6K likes. So, you know, I think it looks bad. You said deleting comments are nonsense. I know. I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it just exposed. It gives you. To me, I want to see these people. Like, see these people. Y'all get what I'm saying? But
Perfect.
yeah, I just Birdman's too big for this. That's the thing. If he was a smaller creator, I get it. Your ego gets hurt, but I do think Birdman does have an ego. So I think that's why he's doing it. But he's too big of a creator to be deleting comments of people that's Asmon's fucking Roach King Roach infestation. So I don't know. He bots the likes. Who bots the likes? I don't know. We looking at Birdman's likes and dislikes right now.
individually deleting comments after he got called out. Oh no. There's the video. Oh my god. So he's out there, bro. He's out there in the trenches fighting. No.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he wasn't doing it, they wouldn't be able to attack him like this. Like, that's why I said. That's why I tell y'all. Like, I always try my best to give people little room to attack my points versus like shit that's easy to attack. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it. Shut it down. Shut it down. No, guys, that's not it at all. And what a high IQ opinion.
Like, yeah, I'll call Asmon stupid and shit and low IQ, but I'm actually like engaging with what he's saying. Asmon couldn't do that, so now they're just attacking the fact that he's deleting comments. It's just it gives them more ammo to attack shit.
Yes. Oh my fucking God. This is ridiculous. He can't individually delete all our comments. Honestly, he's gonna have to, right? And wow, I knew this day would come, that IQ is a load of nonsense and not indicative of intelligence in the slightest. Anybody who says this is a moron. If you told somebody that the person who is your surgeon has an IQ of 70, that person would be fucking terrified.
Casual reminder that IQ is a load of nonsense and not indicative of intelligence in the slightest. Hell, you could cheat IQ tests. Intelligence has many facets and cannot be. You can cheat on that. You can cheat for an IQ test, but yeah, I think they kind of understating IQ tests. But Asmon is also overstating IQ tests, though. He overstates it, and this person is understating it. To be fair.
And they would come up with a reason to get out of the surgery. The idea that IQ doesn't matter will immediately...
But of course, he has to use an extreme example of a fucking surgeon having a low IQ when that really is no room for that to really be a thing for an actual surgeon to have a low IQ.
Immediately stop the moment that your life is being put in the hands of a person with an IQ of 70. So this is so delusional. It's not true at all. Everybody knows it's not true. You're just a moron. And I had to update my own will. Yeah, I guess so. They won't admit it. No, they won't. Who is this person? Birdman. What does he do? He complains about racism. So let me get this straight.
He complains about racism. First of all, you do see a few of his exposing the grifts, but most of this is about film. Like, you're ignoring majority of what you're looking at right now. You got everything wrong with you got exposing the grift and exposing the grift. Then you got everything wrong with exposing the grift, everything wrong with, everything wrong with, everything wrong with, exposing the grift, exposing the grift, exposing the grift. Did it suck, which is a review, exposing the grift, everything wrong with, everything, exposing the grift. So it's like a balance of both.
So he
That he's
complains
looking at right now.
about racism, and he makes videos, negative videos about Charlie Kirk.
Why are you ignoring everything wrong with? He makes negative videos about Charlie Kirk. First of all, you don't even, the thumbnail isn't even necessarily negative. Exposing the grift, context, and Charlie Kirk.
And then he goes on Twitter and he's just profoundly racist towards white people, and he crashes out and complains about them. Oh my God.
He's looking at a thread from July of 2025, bro. At least find something more recent if you're going to make that claim. This is a 2025 thread.
This isn't a 60 not offending anybody. Per capita is used to figure things out like resource allocation. Right. Literally does not matter to law enforcement agencies. That's the entire context of the crime. Retard supremacists latched.
He didn't even read that correctly. He said that's the entire context to this argument, fucking crime. He said that, and that's the entire, what did he just say?
To law enforcement agencies. That's the entire context of the crime.
This entire context of the crime. No, it's the entire context to the argument, crime.
Retard supremacists latched on to a NAR argument. This person thinks per capita doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's crazy. It doesn't. He did not say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the point that y'all try to make it. That's the problem. The picture looks like Asmon Gold. Apparently, Birdman is playing to make a response. It's about to get heated. Did Birdman post about it? How see? Did he say something?
Oh my God! Wow. And what is this here? I'm gonna check you. Did your mom have when you smoked cigarette? This is another one. Smoked a cigarette. It's hooked up to the machine. So you have somebody, you're trying to insult me or be rude to me or something like this. The funny thing is that she even admitted that. She said as they were carrying her out of her room, the EMS was carrying her out. She says, "I'm stupid. I'm such an asshole." She even agreed with you. She said it was stupid herself.
Oh, shit.
Like, what do you mean? Like, everybody's on the same page with this. It was dumb as hell. Like, duh. It's not even true. What a disgusting chatter. Well, people like this love to escalate things to the emotional attacks, attacking your dead family members, everything like that.
Finally, so Birdman said this, what's yesterday? Yesterday, finally made it through Zach's reaction to my video, and it went about as predictably as you expect. Pausing before a question he asked is answered. Yep. Incoherent rambling that had nothing to do with what was just stated. Ad homs and lies. Claiming I called him racist and then he calls me racist. Please be expecting my rights. Yes. I said all of this. I said all of this. He was fucking responding before getting answers. He said he called him racist. I'm like, I don't think he ever called him racist. Then he turns around and calls him racist. It's like, oh man, well, here you go. Y'all, this gonna be good. This gonna get good. He probably gonna actually fry him this time with like actual like personal jokes. I feel like honestly, I'd rather, just like with Keno Flex, I'd rather him just stick to the subject matter. That's just me. I know people, it's funny. I'm not gonna lie, it should be funny. I just rather them stick to the subject matter. Like I said, I didn't like the short jokes about Keno Flex and shit, but it's probably gonna happen. I'm enjoying this meta. The idea that I agree with Asmon going to my video is peak. I didn't understand shit Birdman said. True. Also, the fake know you with the racist allegations here. Fucking where's the debunk? You actually proved and agreed to this point. These people slow.
And the reason why they do that is because they don't have anything else. There's nothing.
Terrence, the stream is called Asmon responded to Birdman. What do you mean?
It has any basis at all. And that's it. Guys just clout chasing. Look at all the tweets. They have minimal engagement. Well, of course they do. He's a moron. But anyway, it doesn't matter to me. I like this. You think I'm some leftist that's going to be shocked at these images? Oh, God. If there's any more of these here. U.S. social assistance recipients. And it's the
I don't know what you're talking about, Shaq.
majority of people are white. Man. Imagine having such a profoundly and tremendous...
Wait. Is he finna be upset at something that he is wrong about, proves him wrong? Something proves him wrong. Is he finna be upset because it's getting shown? Is that what he finna do again? Just like the 68-80 thing? Like he tried to pretend like don't matter? That shows how dumb you are, because I wasn't the original arguer. I came in to disprove your talking points after someone linked my video. Even your welfare point is debunked with simple research. I mean, who is the most Hodor Asians to point and laugh at everyone?
Imagine having
resistance. Yeah, and then he's just gonna use per capita again.
Such a profoundly and tremendously like massive misunderstanding of statistics and information. Like really, 140 IQ, and you still don't understand per capita.
Who said he doesn't understand it? He's saying you guys are using it to... The fact that Asmon said Mehdi is trying to push a narrative and Asmon is literally doing nothing but pushing a fucking narrative is crazy to me. And the fact that he just doesn't see that is wow. He doesn't understand per capita. I want to see him explain per capita. He can't. Clever, appreciate you. Good night. Like... see as speak to me, that's not on us, man. Abba and Preach the ones, they the big guys. Of course, if they ask us to do content with them, we would jump at it, but you know.
But per capita doesn't matter. The guy just hates white people. He does. It's very embarrassing to see people like this that are talking about this. There is. And now he's upset. And again, he's upset that I reacted to his video. So he makes an entire video about me.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
That are talking about this. There is. And now he's upset. And again, he's upset that I reacted to his video.
He's not upset that that you reacted. He's upset that people are brigading it, which is fucking annoying, you know, but I don't think he should responded this way. I don't think he should.
So he makes an entire video about me, and then I react to it, and he's crying about it.
He's not crying about your reaction, obviously. He's upset about people brigading. But again, he shouldn't let that get to him to the point to where he fucking deletes message comments and shit.
Man. That's sad, isn't it? I'll read a few more comments. I want to move on and look at some other stuff too. And so clearly that's what it is. Shouldn't the graph be the same as the population pie chart? It's so overrepresented. Yeah, of course, right?
Shouldn't the graph be the same as over? Wait,
And,
how is it
absolutely.
overrepresentation? How is it over? What is it, overrepresentation?
I don't think so overrepresented. Yeah, of course, right? And absolutely. I don't think he doesn't understand. He's intentionally misunderstanding.
No, oh, God. 100% of the people that need assistance. That's what it's about. This is the point. They're so they just so blind to the fact that look at what the lengths they're going to try to make minorities look like they're bad. Most of the people receiving social assistance are white. Is it because they're the majority of the people? Yes, but they're also the majority of who's receiving assistance. They're so upset about seeing that. Isn't Asmon the same person to say, oh, they don't like the truth of the matter? That's why they don't look into things. You get shown something you like and y'all are fighting against it. Because we're not denying that black people commit violent crimes at a higher rate per capita. We're not denying it. We're just saying that you're using it to try to make black people look bad. All he did was, y'all, we understand that more white people are on social assistance because there's more of them. But we're not saying white people in general are stupid or broke. That's not the argument. But y'all try to say black people are just violent. That's the problem. Y'all just say black people are violent because they black damn near. That's the difference between these two things. Nobody is condemning white people because majority of the people that get assistance are white. Nobody's doing that. But y'all think that because there's a group of black people that commit crime at a higher rate per capita, look at all the fucking caveats I need to have, that therefore black people are violent. These are two different things.
It's just stupid, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's sad to see somebody come together and put this together because it's just so, none of this makes sense at all. Dude doesn't have an IIQ.
Of course it doesn't make sense to you, Asmon, of course.
Test? Who cares whether he has a high IQ or not at all? Dude doesn't have an IIQ test? Who cares whether he has a high IQ or not? Like, again, when you're looking at averages, that's what you're really talking about. Meme them until they cry. I bet he's here in chat. I bet he is too. That 140 took him a few tries, I guess. Maybe you're right. He's a retarded racist. Yep, exactly. His video never even had a practical point in it. At one point,
this is crazy stupidity. How is somebody providing you with evidence of their claims and then these people, his audience is saying his video did nothing? Let's look at these comments. He didn't contradict anything. He didn't pull up any evidence or anything. He just he just spoke about how he felt about it all. He spoke on how I did look up his claim of the female genital mutilation, which was true, but a lot of the stuff he said was his feelings. The Lyric Center got themselves an AI voice. This claim is so weird with the Birdman. Like, they see one video and be like, it's AI. It's just so weird. Says IQ is irrelevant, calls someone low IQ. I don't even know if he ever said IQ was irrelevant. But these people don't even engage with what they saw. They don't even engage with the video. This whole argument of argument BS. If you have a small community of people, police surveillance, it's going to be influence on crime report. Yeah. If you police everybody equally, I'm not going to say the crime would be 100% equal, but it would definitely be a lot higher in places that they probably think it's not high. That's for sure. Bro keeps citing Wikipedia like it's some incorruptible source. So I kept seeing this in his comments. He didn't even use he used actual studies and articles for claims that were more in depth of the process of how they came to their conclusions and studies. He used Wikipedia just to show these guys' names and a summary of what they were about. And then they're dismissing Wikipedia as a whole. The whole Wikipedia slander is so fucking weird to me. Wikipedia is fine for basic information. I just hate that people got this. You couldn't use it as a source in college. So the fuck what? If I go to Wikipedia to look up how old fucking Jennifer Garner is, it's not gonna lie to me. Like, can we stop with this? Like, Wikipedia, no, you don't have to listen to anything. Like, damn, Wikipedia is fine for just basic information. Dude is he's a self-proclaimed scientific racist. Why is that? Why would that be not acceptable on Wikipedia? He didn't use Wikipedia to show the proof of why the average IQ of sub-Saharan Africa is actually 80 versus 68. That's true. Wikipedia is definitely better than X. Y'all listen to Asmon, who fucking stays on it. What the fuck? His tabs are Reddit, YouTube, X. Who are we going to listen to? The guy that's showing articles, Wikipedia, studies, books, or we're going to listen to the guy with Reddit, YouTube, and X ads only? I'm not saying he never has, because I don't watch him extensively. Has Asmon ever pulled up a study on his stream while speaking so emphatically on things that can be verified? We're not just opining on, like, Alex Preddy's shooting and shit like that. Even though there's things you could look at to reference, like case law with things like this. I know he ain't looking at shit up, but regardless, has he ever? And yes, Wikipedia would be more reliable than AI. That's true, right? Wikipedia is more reliable than AI. And now people rely on AI pretty high. I use AI. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't take Google AI sometimes, but Wikipedia is more reliable than that. But yet this guy is on Reddit, YouTube, and X. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? You're wrong. You are wrong. It's not 68 IQ. It's below 80. Wait, you lying. It's 80. Why did he say it's below 80? It's 80. When they can't dispel your message, they try to instead and check your character. Who the fuck is she talking about? He never attacked his character. Tries to debunk low IQ remarks, ends up proving it's correct. How? Well, see, low IQ. Even though 68 is mental retardation and 80 is just slightly below average. That's two different things. Civil war, famine, disease sounds like high IQ problems. When was the argument ever that they have high IQs? I have low IQ fatigue is bananas and rice. Won't they ever leer? So I saw this bananas and rice. This is like a running joke in Asmon comments. I don't know what the fuck it means, but it sounds racist as fuck. Right, Two Hinge. It's basic, but not necessarily false. Correct. It's basic. It's not false. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, simple info that you need in the moment is fine. It's perfectly fine to use Wikipedia for simple info. Yeah. This bananas and rice shit. This is a running joke in this comment section. You know what I'm saying? It sounds racist. I don't know what the fuck this means, but it seems racist. Bananas and rice? What are we talking about? What the fuck are they talking about? Using Wikipedia to debunk is a low IQ move. Have more bananas and rice. This is a totally different person. And again, he didn't use Wikipedia to debunk. He used studies and articles. Why in scientific articles, psychological articles? Why the fuck are y'all acting like Wikipedia? He used Wikipedia to show Richard Flynn and the fact that he was a scientific racist. And one more other thing I forgot, just to show that a book that they used was pseudoscience. Though I think those are the only two things he used for Wikipedia, if I'm not mistaken. Everything else was studies. Why are y'all ignoring that? The guy in the source video locked the comments. I wonder if he did lock it. Oh shit, wrong thing. I was moving too fast. Did he lock the comments, really? I hope not. That's a bad look.
Mental
Oh,
retardation.
he didn't lock the comments. Unless he did and then turned it off or something. What's the ratio? Jesus Christ. Damn. This how my Asmon video looks, y'all. Maybe not this bad. This is crazy. I know this ain't I got the fucking extension, and I know it's not 100% accurate. I know it's not 100% accurate. But if it's anything close, that's crazy. I wonder, he locked it and unlocked it. Okay. I was like, maybe he took it off at some point. Yeah, I think I think this is getting to him. I don't know if he's ever gotten this much pushback before, because Asmon's fan base is a different type of beast. I already know that as a fact. Hold on, I'm finna see what my ratio was on my Asmon video, because I got ratio when I did I think it was my second Asmon video, not the first. The second one I did, I think I got ratio. I'm finna see now. No, maybe it was the first one, because the second one is pretty good. Oh no, that's when I debated dude in the comments. Oh yeah, here we go. When I said Asmon is terrified of Destiny. Night just had. Oh yeah, Dex video, same shit. Yeah, here we go. Yep, it was more. Look at this. 124 likes, 236 dislikes. So yeah, Asmon's fans, they be on some bullshit. They be ready to ratio somebody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's par for the course when you talk about him. I can just say prove Asmon wrong. Well, we know why. Yeah, Dex video. Mind y'all, these people are crazy. Dex has a relatively small channel, and look what happened to his Asmon video. This one. This man has 50 subs and got 1,000 views. That's like unprecedented. And look what they did. Look what they did. 56 dislikes, 16 likes. So most of his fans aren't American, they're Euro bros. Interesting. I wonder why that is. So yeah, these people are out of their fucking mind. Asmon's fan base is a different type of beast, man. Like, but I hope it would be interesting, because I think when Birdman responds, I don't know if it's a lot of room for Asmon to respond, because I don't. First of all, for Birdman to actually, the problem is Birdman's video wasn't even attacking Asmon. It was just literally debunking the false narrative of low IQ, race, blah 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 blah. And he didn't say he's dirty. He didn't say he's broke. He didn't say he's homeless. No, he's not homeless. But you know what I'm saying? He didn't insult him personally. He didn't say he was racist. He just said he's pushing the racist talking point. And it was about the argument the whole time. Asmon reacts to it, calls him racist, doesn't address the points, doesn't even understand what's happening. Birdman's next video is going to be so thorough that Asmon's going to either have to ignore it or just make a bigger fool of himself. Like, we know this man is surgical. Oh, Wise, you saw the numbers of we see three, even if it happened to the Birdman, which is a huge creator, me, which is a small creator, and Dex, which is a new creator. Like, and we all got ratio because we talked about Asmon. It's fucking weird. It's the weird. I was interested. I never looked at Destiny's ratios when he talks about Asmon. I'm curious. I think they did I wonder if Destiny got ratio. Destiny has like a 3-hour supercut of the whole back and forth that he had with Asmon, because Asmon don't want to fucking respond to or talk to Destiny in real life. So they did videos back and forth. I wonder what that supercut did. Did Asmon go react turns into a week-long political debate? Let's see what that ratio looks like.
Listen to the argument of what they're.
Oh, that didn't get ratioed at all. It got 3.8K likes and 488 dislikes. that's his super cut for the back and forth between those two. But yeah, man, some certain fan bases. When I cover Brandon Tatum, I get ratio. Brandon Tatum, Asmongold, Charlie Kirk early on, but not after he died. Who else? Critical Drinker, I get ratioed. So shit's crazy. Arguing before about statements Asmon himself said they only resorted to ad homs. None of them could disprove anything. A bunch of weirdos. I saw so many racist comments in Asmon comment section. Like, yeah, they are racist. Like, they were either calling Birdman the no word or preaching racist worldviews. If fan base like that, what does it say about him? Exactly. Asmon sounds like 2016. All right, YouTube facts. Because Asmon is fellow snowflakes facts. Now, mind you, those view and comments were less than 24 hours. Yeah, you did get that. You did get all those views and comments like really quick. It wasn't even over time. I had never had desire to talk to somebody. I may soon at some point. I'm curious to see if I get ratio 2 with it. Watch, if creators at every level getting ratios, you're a mid-tier creator. Birdman's big, I'm small, Dex is new. You're like a mid-tier creator, you're gonna get ratioed. See the video saying like Blackface not working hard for her. No, I did not see that video, Alva. You're not just seeing things a lot. His fan base is racist. Just look at the comments under his reaction to that racist woman in the park who called that kid the N-word. See, that's crazy. If they were supporting the woman that called the kid the N-word in that video, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, and that's the thing too. He's trying to say he's not racist, even though Birdman didn't call him racist. He said he's not, but yet your comment section is just the racist is just flocking. They flocking. So. But yeah, man, this was really fun. I didn't expect to get this much engagement, man, on a random Sunday stream at the last minute. Maybe I'll consider this again in the future because y'all came through tonight, or it could just be the topic, you know. I guess a lot of people was invested in the Birdman Asmon. So when Birdman does his response, depending on the time of day, the length of the video, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. If it's not too long, I'm gonna do a regular video. If it's like Asmon and it's 50 minutes, I'm gonna probably just, you know, do a live on the day that it come out if I can. You have to be a sub for a week for Birdman to be able to comment on his videos. Interesting. So that's why I can, but other people probably can't. Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay, but yeah, man, this was high engagement for a random Sunday stream. Maybe Sundays are good days to stream, but I appreciate it, man. Make sure you sub if y'all have not, man. If y'all new to my channel and you enjoy what you saw, if you didn't enjoy it, just leave a sub. You know, it ain't gonna hurt you. But if you made it to this point in the stream, man, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.